And welcome back to my channel, boys and girls. I just finished playing this game about half an hour or so ago, and barring the time it takes to make a screen capture of the game and doing the voices, yeah, this is the game I would like to show you guys. It's not the biggest damage I've ever done in the Kitakaze. It's also not the most kills I've ever done in the Kitakaze, but it's going to showcase a few how can I put this, decisions that you can make in a game that can basically change the outcome of a game. Sadly, this kind of game you don't tend to find all that often nowadays. It tends to be more of a blowout, and if you've done really well, you might find yourself alone at the top of the board, more than 600 or 700 XP in front of the guy in second place. And that's happened a lot to me of late. And where you simply can't seem to carry yourself to a win as hard as you used to. Well, anyway, what we currently have here is a game without CVs and 3 destroyers. It's a good mix of ships: 5 battleships, 4 cruisers, 3 destroyers each. But the enemy's got a Friesland, so I know I don't have to worry too much about the torps on that thing, but I do have to worry about torpedoes from 2 other ships. I see the Yugumo coming in towards C, and I want to give him time to decide where he's going to go, and then I open up on him while I'm popping my smoke screen. I was quite surprised to see that none of those first shells actually hit him. He ducks in behind a little island, and he goes in behind safety. Now I'm scanning the map, the mini-map on my right, and I'm having a look to see where the rest of the enemy ships might be. I'm staying in the smoke. I don't want to be spotted by anything if I can help it. I noticed that there's a cap being contested at A, so I realize that the enemy Kitakaze might be at A right now, Friesland's at B, Yugumo at C, so I'm pushing out. I know exactly where the Yugumo is. I could also see that there's 2 Alaskas, and both of them are outside 10 kilometers, which means I'm not running any risk of being radared at that point in time. And me shooting at this moment here also tells me if I remain unspotted like this, that means that there's no other ship inside 12.5 kilometers from me at this point. So I am completely safe shooting at the rear of that Yugumo at the moment. Unless he backs up far enough to actually drop some torpedoes, which he still hasn't done. Just being patient, surveying the surroundings, and I'm already feeling a little bit uneasy because the enemy got 2 caps relatively easily. Our Yugumo didn't seem to want to contest a cap all that much, even though he had 2 reasonably good battleships with him, while there were 2 or 3 ships behind an island. And Yugumo then spots me. He smokes up, which means now I know he doesn't have torpedo reload booster. If he's smoking up, he doesn't have the luxury of 16 torpedoes. He's got 8, and that's it. I haven't seen him send any yet, so if anyone else has seen any torpedoes up until this point in time, excuse me for saying that. And there we go. There is his torpedoes. 8 of them. Now I know he is toothless. He's slow shooting main battery guns, of course. He's not going to have torps for a little while. A couple of my ships eat a few of his torpedoes, but I know that I personally am in no danger of him, and he goes down as well. Now I'm trying to survey the cap again to see how I can be most useful. I'm thinking, wait, let's try and cap C first. Unfortunately, I do not have 12-kilometer torpedoes on my Kitakaze because for some reason, after the new skills came out, I decided to take the torp acceleration thing, not reading that it actually reduces the distance your torps travel by 20% as well. So instead of 12-kilometer torpedoes, I've got 9.6-kilometer torps. But I've learned to play it with this as is, It can become tricky when you're running into radars and you're trying to torpedo them, but considering how wide the spread is, the 6 torpedoes that you do send, making them a little bit faster is not exactly the worst thing on earth. Trying to get rid of the Friedrich the Grosse. And sent a set of torpedoes at the Jean Bart at the back as well. But I'm thinking he's probably backing up. He's probably not going to be in any danger of eating those torpedoes. And my one torpedo grazes the Friedrich the Grosse. Someone else gets the kill, but then the Friesland appears. And this is where I'm a little bit conflicted now, because I would have wanted to go to B right now and see of what use I could be over there, but unfortunately it's not possible. And I'm shooting like a complete noob at this point in time. That Friesland should have ate a lot more damage being that close to me. But I also know that I'm in no risk of him hurting me too much, because he knows he's shooting inside my smoke screen. I'm outside of it. There's a Jean Bart that I can shoot at, and he doesn't have torpedoes that he can torpedo me with, and he's too far away from me to hydro me. So I'm safe for the time being. But then I notice that there's 2 Alaskas pushing up towards this cap, and that kind of worries me. How much longer can I sit in smoke shooting at a Jean Bart, allowing the Alaskas to creep up on me? And I'm thinking 2 or 3 more salvos. And then let's try and get out of dodge before the Alaska gets too close. I know he doesn't have the best radar from all tier 10 American cruisers, but it's still good enough that if you're caught inside their radar range, they at least still have 2 to 3 salvos that they can shoot in your direction before their radar runs out. The one thing that did count in my favor here was this Alaska not continuing on his path past the island, but rather turning back in towards the center of the cap, because that allowed me a little bit of time to get further away, get outside of his radar range, and take a few pot shots at him over the island, knowing that the Friesland is still smoked up. But now I'm also very, very worried. We've got 5 ships down against their 4. They have 2 destroyers, we have 2 destroyers. We have the extra battleship in the bank, and there one of them goes, so never mind. And one of theirs goes, so never mind again. But either way, we still only have the 1 cap, and it is being contested. Not at this moment, no, not yet. Alaska pushing in right through B. And I need to get close enough to send some torpedoes, and then I thought the need to send torpedoes right now is actually diminished, considering how hard the Georgia has hit him. And I'm hoping the Soviet Soyuz can actually do a little bit more. There we go. And I'm thinking, if he's out of the cap, I've got a shot of taking B. And that's it. He's out of the cap. Now I need to get my ass into B ASAP. I'm looking up at the scoreboard and I realize that our score is now paused on 384, which means that Friesland is inside that cap at C. So we're not getting any point income right now while they are just stretching their legs. Something needs to be done. Things have gone quiet. Eerily quiet. I know where the Friesland is. He's still in that cap. No danger to me whatsoever, but I don't know where the Kitakaze is. Hasn't been spotted in a while. And there's the Friesland. Trying to take a couple of pot shots on the Georgia, and successfully so. I don't think that Georgia's going to survive for too much longer. I'm getting a little bit nervous looking at the ship on my left, because considering that there's now 3 ships straight ahead shooting at him, if they miss him, they might hit me if I pass, behind him. So I'm taking a wide berth behind him. I mean, I can't really blame the Soviet Soyuz for pushing in right here, because he's clearly now realized that, if we don't do something, we may lose. But there's ways in which he could have done this that could have seen him extend his life a little bit more. But that was him deciding what needs to be done. And then I spot the Kitakaze on my left, and I'm thinking, if he's going to come to B, I mean, look at the score. 750 plays 324. He might try and kill me so that they can keep B cap. I'm thinking, nah, I'm not going to send the second set yet. Let's shoot at the Kitakaze first. Let's see if we can make him turn. Which he has done. Send the second set just in case he does turn back in. And I am so close to dead, and I'm hoping that none of these shells hit me, and they don't. I get the kill on the Kitakaze. I'm thinking, right, now, get B. We are 350 points still behind them. We can actually start ticking. It can start ticking in our favor quite soon. There's not a lot of time left, 8 minutes. And if any one of our ships fall now, it's going to be extremely difficult to come back from here. And I noticed that the Yugumo is basically just sailing away from A, considering that he just saw the Kitakaze die at B. So he must have known that there is no destroyer around. It just didn't click that he needs to go and cap A. Unfortunately, that is what's going to happen every now and again in your games. You're going to find that sub 50%er that is trying his damnedest to win a game, but he's not always registering what is going on around him. So a little bit of a push, in a nice way to try and get him to go cap is sometimes needed. I noticed that he's now turned towards A, but he's not really moving towards A, which is a bad thing. So I ping him again. Dude, get your ass over there, cap. He acknowledges, so hopefully he now gets into that cap and get it done. Wargaming paid to lose. Jean Bart's about to go down. And I'm thinking, I now need to make this Jean Bart. On 629 HP, I need to try and outplay this Jean Bart. He's almost full health. I need to outplay him, and I need to try and keep this cap in our hands. And I'm thinking, right, how many smokes do I have left? 1. I basically have 2 torp reloads left. And my engine boost just ran out. So I don't have all my toys with me. And I'm thinking, dude, I cannot wait another 30 seconds here to send torpedoes. Or can I? Nothing to shoot at. So things have gone quiet again. I'm thinking, right, while I'm not spotting that Jean Bart, I'm going to switch to torpedo so that he doesn't realize. If he's got that skill that tells him whether or not someone is aiming at him with main batteries, then he would have noticed that someone stopped aiming at him with main batteries, and he would have realized that torps may have been sent. So I waited until I was unspotted before I switched to torpedoes. He is now turning nose in. He's not stupid. He knows the torpedoes might be coming. And he could also see from where and how I stopped spotting him where he may have been. And I'm thinking, I need to get guns on him now. Just in case the torps miss. I need to get guns on him to try and reset him. I'll take a blind fire, but luckily one of my torpedoes hit him and it did reset him. So now I'm thinking, I need to try and coax him out of this gap. I was still behind my smoke cloud, so I had no reason to not try and reset him. Trying to reset him again, it's going to be difficult. There he is. But I need to get in behind the smoke. I have to get in behind the smoke. I don't have a choice, otherwise he's going to see me. That's a blind shot, but I have to reset him. And luckily the Yugumo is now on his way back. So now I'm waiting for him to spot the broadside of this Jean Bart, so that I can use the smoke that's still going to be there for the next 40 seconds to keep on resetting him, lure him out of the cap. They must not get any cap points, and we must get all of them. Don't know where the Alaska is, but it's definitely not inside my 12.5 kilometer bubble. And I've successfully pulled the Jean Bart out of the cap. Now it's a matter of going dark. I don't have to shoot at him. I don't have to do a damn thing. 250 points, 260 points behind. We can wait. And then someone tells me to stop shooting Kita, as if he thought I was shooting at the Jean Bart for shits and giggles. So I just kindly let him know that I do know what I'm doing. He must just take a chill pill, untie his panties. And then the Jean Bart turned square. Now this is probably the best thing that could have happened to us right here. Turning broadside to me. And I'm sending my torpedoes, thinking that if the torpedoes from the Yugumo is any good, he's going to have to dodge them. It wouldn't be too difficult for him to spot them coming in towards him, so he's going to try and sail in a straight line, knowing full well that there might be more salvos coming, or more torp drops coming, seeing as it is a Yugumo he's playing against. So he's dodged the first and second sets. Keeps on going in a straight line to dodge the torpedoes from the third and fourth sets. But that basically set him up perfectly to take my torpedoes. I only need 2 or 3 to hit for him to go down. And Bob's your uncle. He dead. And that is that. Everyone seems happy. We might win this. And I'm thinking, where to now? And you know what? At this point in time, there's nothing that they can do. If we both survive, there's nothing they can do to stop us from winning this game. We know we're hit on cap points. We have all 3 of them. And I tell my team I'm going to go hide in J1 if they need me. That's it. I don't have to shoot at anything else. I don't have to try and win harder. I don't have to get more torps off. I don't need to do a damn thing from here. Nothing. And I'm looking at Grey Fox and I'm thinking, dude, what are you doing? You can see that he's being contested and he's sailing towards, like, what is he doing? I mean, I'm trying to get as much distance between myself and anything that can shoot at me at this point in time, and a radar cruiser just entered B. And he turns again to send torpedoes through the gap. He didn't need to do that. Now, unfortunately, look, if you are one of these players, I respect your willingness to do well in a game and to do what is needed to get the team a win, but that was bad. You don't do that. You don't have to try and win harder. Sending torpedoes like that basically made it easy for the Alaska now to come around the corner, find out that he's spotted, pop his radar, and shoot the Yugumo. And I mean, if the Yugumo is under 70% of his health, he can detonate. Now, in the grand scheme of things, looking at the actual score that we have now, it probably wouldn't have mattered. I don't think the point swing would have done that big of a deal, or would have been that big of a deal. But in any other game that might be just a little bit closer than this, it could have been. So please, people, if you're in a position to win, don't do stupid things. You don't have to. That's it. Game finishes. Winning reasonably comfortably by about 150 cap points. And to be quite honest with you, I would like to think that a lot of the decisions I made in that game, were responsible for us actually pulling through on that in that way. I mean, if the Yugumo didn't spot that he was supposed to go cap A, and no one told him to go cap A, the enemy would have had points coming in regardless. And we wouldn't have had that kind of a lead. If I didn't draw the Jean Bart out of the cap in the way that I did, or at least attempted to bait him out of the cap, then we could have lost that game. And all he would have had to do then, if my smoke ran out and he decided to sit in the cap and take his chances with torps coming in, and all my torps ended up missing, all he needed to do once he capped that cap was turn around and sail away. Speed boost on. And there would have been not a damn thing I could have done because I didn't have the health to do it. So sometimes you just need to stay calm, make the right decisions, and inevitably you might have games like this where all your decisions are vindicated. So as you can see here, didn't do too bad. It's only like 135,000 damage, not the biggest. Basically 1 full cap and 1 assisted capture, 7 cap defense. I hit ships with 6 torpedoes and I killed 2. Not the most fires, not the most target hits, but ultimately it was good damage. It was done on the right ships at the right time. Then here you'll see 2,700 base experience. Like I said, only the 2 kills. Georgios got more, but he also played a vital role in never ever turning over that sea cap to the enemy. Even with 2 destroyers in there and multiple ships shooting in there, he stayed alive for as long as he possibly could. And that, my friends, is that. That is my Kitakaze game. Hopefully, I'll see you again soon. Cheerio.